Good afternoon, folks. This is Lee Kersey of Simple, Georgia. I thought I paused the video, but it cut off. So anyway, we'll start all over again. Today I'm smoking a Espinosa La Bamba 601 Atom. It's a Nicaraguan cigar made by Eric Espinosa at the La Nova factory there in Nicaragua. Boutique blend. On the cigar scanner, it did not show up in the search on the cigar scanner, but in my Google search, I have seen it at several cigar shops in the Google search. It's a 5.5 by 46 Nicaraguan cigar, Nicaraguan filler, Colorado, I think it's Colorado Maduro or something like that wrapper. Real good cigar. I got it, I can't remember where I got it from, but having said that, it is good. I just went through my box and picked one today. As you can tell, I am still at home. I was supposed to be on vacation this week, but unfortunately, the schedule got changed with the guy I was supposed to go on vacation for. This was normally my paid vacation. His children has a competition they go to every year, a national championship. And I usually drive all the equipment up, handle logistics, hang out if they need me, run around and get parts, ammo, different things that they need up there. And unfortunately, they changed the schedule on him at the very last minute, so he didn't need me to go up. They normally start the championship, the competition, on Monday. This year, they decided to start it on Sunday, and so I'm staying home working. He didn't need me. They rearranged everything. So now, granted, I'm missing my vacation, but it is what it is. I'll work, I'll get a vacation, I'll do something, and I'll probably be back up there next year. But anyway, as a reminder, this coming Saturday, they're having the pipe show there at Gainesville, Georgia, at Smitty's Cigar Lounge. That's there in North Georgia, off of 85, 985, in between 85 and 985 there. That'll be this. They'll have like the meet and greet and get to know people Friday night, and they'll have the actual show Saturday. Sorry about that. Anyway, I wanted to update y'all on that. Next month, there will be a show in Japan. I know some of you probably won't be going to Japan for a pipe show there in Tokyo, but there will be one there in Tokyo, Japan, as well as the Columbus Pipe Show will be next month. Columbus, Ohio Pipe Show will be next month. You can look back into my post on my channel. You'll see when the dates are, and then September there will be another pipe show overseas. I posted about it. There will be one in Richmond, I believe it is. The Richmond Pipe Show will be at September. There at the Richmond Core or something, at the Antique Tractor Truck Museum. Then in November be Las Vegas. I'm thinking it is October be in Dallas. So yeah, just keep up with the posts on my channel, and I'll post it as I find out the information. I forgot what I was going to talk about. I wasn't going to make a video today, but I decided at the last minute to make a video. if you keep up with Jess Piping, he just done a video the past day or two about a new channel. I haven't had a chance. I just subscribed to him today. I have not had a chance to watch any of his videos. And I'm hoping I'll be back on track to start making more videos within the next couple of weeks. I've got my hands full trying to get this DOT stuff out the way from this inspection. I'm trying to learn a lot more of the office stuff now, and so yeah, I've got my hands full. And fortunately, I'm glad that it's happening when it's slow. So you know, I can pick up on what's going on. That way, when we do get high speed, that maybe I'll be able to just roll with the punches. I mentioned last time I was gonna give y'all another story of a situation I've had with a dealership on my son's car. And I bought my son a 1990 Toyota Camry, had something like 86,000 miles or so a few years ago, and that was his first car. And anyway, he drove it around here for a while, and you know, back and forth to work, things like that. He loved the little car, great on fuel mileage, clean. I mean, clean as a pin. And when he moved to Washington, D.C., he stayed up there and done the subway, rail, you know, things like that up there, the bus or whatever, because he was close enough to where he was at, he could do that. And then he moved to another apartment, and he sort of needed a vehicle on occasion, but nothing all the time. So he took his little car up, and anyway, down here he had to take it to the Toyota dealership down here. They put it on the little code reader scanner thing they've got, and they told him he needed an injector, so they put an injector in it. He takes it up to Washington, D.C., and it really started acting up. You know, Washington, D.C. from Savannah is about 12, 13 hours, something like that. So it wasn't nothing that he could, you know, just, you know, we could just get to him or whatever. So he takes it to a shop up there, another dealership, and of course they told him he needed injectors. Then they got to digging around some more. They told him he needed engine rebuild, he needed this, he needed that, he needed the other, fuel pressure, rail, all kind of stuff. And so anyway, we found a set of injectors. We bought them. Now mind you, this is the second or third set of injectors we put in this car at about $100 a piece for the injector. We paid, you know, whatever the shipping charges was to get them up there to him. Paid the guy to put them in. So by this time we've got about another $2,500 just in maintenance like that on this little car. And he really couldn't trust the car like he wanted. So They put the injectors in, then they come back and said, you know, talking about the motor, and Dad's like, no. So we rented a trailer, went up there, put the car on the trailer, brought it back to Savannah, took it to the dealership here again, and of course they put it on the code reader and said the injectors was gone again. It was fouling. They said it was fouling out the injectors is what they said it was doing. Well, if you know anything about vehicles and you fouling injectors just like you do the plugs, there is a reason why it's fouling out the injectors and plugs. So anyway, my son decided to park the car here at the house and just use it when he came home. He bought my 2004 Crown Victoria that at that time, we bought the car, it had, when Dad bought the car, it had 65,000 or so on it. I bought it from Dad, the car didn't have but 70. So when I sold it to my son, it had 86. Clean car. And my son took it, moved to Louisiana because he had to have a car in Louisiana. It wasn't like it was in Washington where he could catch the subway or the tram, you know. So he had to have a car in Louisiana. So he bought my little Crown Vic, drove it out there, and on the way out there, he found out he had to buy a set of tires, which, you know, the tires that I had on it was good, but what happened is the belt was broken. I didn't know it. The tires had good tread and all. They were good, you know, date range and what have you, but it was a used set. And I had not drove the car very long distances as far as like over the road like that. I just drove it around Savannah area. I think I took it to Jacksonville once. I took it to Charleston. But, you know, going to Louisiana, you know, you got about a 12-hour ride. So he heated the tires up pretty good and found out the belt was broken once. So when he got to Louisiana, he put a new set of tires on. And then he started having problems with the fuel pressure regulator on the tank. And they got it narrowed down to where it was a possible warranty item after he had been in the shop with the car 2 or 3 times. And but anyway, my son was working with the company he was with, as well as with the National Guard and with the local sheriff's department. And he had worked a night shift with the local sheriff's department. And had come in late, or late, you know, late evening shift or whatever, come in late. And at the apartment complex where he lives, he normally parks up by his apartment. But because him coming in real late, he had to park out by the fence under the trees. Well, lo and behold, storm came through, knocked the tree limb out, and busted the back glass out the little Crown Vic, dented up the C post, the trunk, and the way it landed on the trunk, it damaged the relay and electrical components for the fuel pump, so the car wouldn't start. And because of the car being the age it was and the money involved and whatnot, the insurance company decided to total the car. Anyway, last week when Dad was working on Mom's van, he decided to take my son's car over to the same guy that was working on Mom's van, which happened to be somehow or another they're like, I want to say they're not kin to us, but we was raised, my dad and all was raised up around the family. And they've always worked on race cars. They've always, that whole family, all three of them brothers was always mechanics. Well, this one particular brother had a stroke and had retired. So he was just working from home. He was no longer working in the public, garages. So he was just working at home on the side. And the stroke didn't really mess him up bad. It just slowed him down. And he got to mess around with my son's car. And come to find out, there's a head gasket had a leak in my son's car. Dad said he had the car running and he was listening, found out he was losing compression on one of the cylinders, which is the same one that the injector had been fouling out on. So he walked over, got a little can of stuff and sprayed around the heads, not the heads, but the intake. And Daddy said by the time he hit that spot, right there where that injector was, that engine idled out just as smooth and cleaned up. Car run great. And that's what it was. So, that boy had taken the injectors out, cleaned them, and so we found out what it is. It's just the intake gasket. So it was sucking a vacuum, and that's what was causing it to run so rough and fouling out the injectors. Well, the dealerships, all they wanted to do was put it on the machine, and that machine said it needed the injector was bad. They just want to replace injectors. So, there you go. There's another story, just like with my Freightliner, of a dealership not properly troubleshooting a vehicle. They don't know how to troubleshoot a vehicle. All they do is put it on a machine, and what that machine says is what they go with. And whereas this guy that worked on, that found the problem, he's from the old school. He knows, he's like in his 60s. They were used to troubleshooting vehicles. They were trained, they didn't have computers. They were trained back then to troubleshoot vehicles. And, all them years, 40, 50 years of mechanic work has taught him, well, you got this causing this is causing, and I've been telling Dad, I'm like, there is a problem with that. It's either the intake gasket or that fuel rail system, because I've been doing some research on my own, but it was my son's car, and I was letting him and Dad make the decisions on it. And my son was getting tired of spending money on it, which I don't blame him. But that goes to show you a little simple fix like that can be found with troubleshooting versus just taking it to a dealership. And you would think that you could take something to a dealership and trust them. But, I've had 4 or 5 instances like that where I've been burnt by dealerships and I don't trust them no more. I had a 24 brand new truck, T680 Kenworth. I'd taken it in for a service there at Kansas City, or not at Kansas City, Olathe, Kansas, to the dealership now. Mind you, $200 an hour, $225. I'd taken it in for a service. All that was supposed to be done was change the oil, change the filters on the engine and the auxiliary power unit, which is nothing more than a little Thermo King diesel unit. It's hooked up through the fuel lines and that's what they're doing to the new trucks now because of the idling laws in the United States. But anyway, That was all they were supposed to do, was just change the filters and the oil. Well, I get my truck back from the Kenworth dealership at $1,500 for oil change and a service. And I've got a brand new truck, mind you. When I picked the truck up, I pulled the plastic off the seats on this truck. Brand spanking new truck. And had 75,000 miles on it. When I got my truck back, I found scratches in the APU cover. One of the bolts was put back in at an angle. The cover was bent, from a $200 an hour shop. I called the supervisor. I'm like, dude, what is going on here? Help me out. Nope. Still charged me the $1,500 for the service. He's like, well, I'll talk to the technician. I'm like, that ain't doing no good, because the technician's going to do it to the next man. I mean, I said, that's, you can't operate a business like that. I said, y'all getting by like this with these big corporations like Werner or J.B. Hunt, Snyder. I said, I'm a one-man operation. I don't want my truck all beat up and banged up because y'all can't do something right. I got a little 2015 Ford I just picked up, pickup truck. And I taken it in to get the recall work done. I had to call the service department on that one, because when they put it back together, they broke one of the little clips on the plastic piece that goes. I was like, there was nothing wrong with it. Y'all broke the plastic. Now that guy hooked me up, because he told me, he said, bring it back up here, I'll get it fixed for you. But you got stuff like this, and these places is charging $150, $200 an hour, and they don't want to take responsibility or accountability for them messing up. And I've had that happen so much at different places that I don't trust people no more like I used to. I will do everything I can to figure it out myself. And like I've said in the past, thank God that I've got a good mechanical mind where I can, try to figure a lot of this stuff out. I understand a lot of you don't. I really do. And I feel sorry for y'all, because y'all trusting these mechanics at these dealerships to take care of it, That's just like this purge valve on my truck. I went out and I bought a couple of scanners, to where I can read the codes on this stuff. And I start doing some research. The Ford dealership wants to charge me $500. The one that's helping me is wanting to charge me up to $500 for the part and put it in. I can buy the part for $100 and put it on myself and save $400. You understand what I'm saying? And I get it. I understand there's a lot of y'all that don't have the mechanical mind. You don't have the tools. You're not physically able to do stuff like that. I totally understand. You're at the mercy of these dealerships and these mechanics, and I really feel for y'all. Unfortunately, that's the path that of an empath, which I'm an empath, and I feel sorry. I really do. I truly feel sorry for y'all having to deal with these mechanics that does stuff like this. And even though I'm in my 50s, I also understand that these people that I trust, like this friend of ours that is almost like family, he's in his 60s. He, after having a stroke, there's no telling, he might have another stroke and won't be any use to me anymore. The mechanic that I had on the big truck, he finally had to retire because of his health. I'm losing the people that I was able to trust. I'm having to try to find a new set of people that I can trust. But anyway, I'm not telling these stories for y'all to feel sorry for me by no means, but I'm letting you know what I've learned, how I've learned, and why I'm like I am on these mechanical issues. And I wanted to update y'all on these pipe shows. Hopefully, I don't know yet. I will not know until Friday if I can make it to Smitty's. Like I said, I was supposed to be in Ohio, so I didn't make any plans to go to Smitty's. They're in Gainesville to the pipe show Saturday. I don't know if at this late in the game, I don't know if I'll be able to make it. I'm going to do everything I can to try to make Chicago or Columbus, Ohio show. But there again, that one, I may take my paid time off for that show. I've got enough paid time off. I can take that Friday off and go on up there and get paid, you know. And that way I can make a full week. And I can drive all day Friday, get up there for the show Saturday, and then come back on Sunday. If it works out like that. But I'm going to have to plan. I'm going to have to really plan careful for that show, because I've got a bunch of stuff at the office I got to get done. I've got a lot happening between some past business deals that I've got to take care of with the CPA. And, you know, now that I'm taking care of the house and buying the house from mom and dad, I've got that responsibility on me. So my funds may not let me go. But if they do, I'll be there. Maybe I can pick up a couple little side jobs to help out the situation. And I'm gonna have to finish my cigar later. It decided it wanted to go out while I was talking, so I'll have to finish my cigar later. But yeah, we hope y'all have a good rest of the week. And the Lord willing, I will see y'all on the next video. And I'll start getting some more videos out, hopefully after the first of the month, and get back on track and start, doing some more stuff. I'm still trying to get everything I need to do the video that I mentioned while I was on the road, about how we plan our trips, organize our trips, how we run the Atlas, things of that nature. I know a couple of y'all expressed interest in that, but I've got so much that I'm trying to get it all organized. I haven't forgot y'all on this stuff. I want to make these videos, and I have not forgot y'all. But anyway, hope y'all have a good rest of the week. May God bless you, and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Have a good day.